your business and can't wait to exceed your expectations. Please remain on the line, and we will be with you shortly.
Had enough. Hey guys, how's it going? It's Dave Sebastian, coordinator of mentoring arts programming with Wayside. I am back with you once again, and I'm excited to be here. How's everybody doing? Enjoying your blizzard, or whatever they're calling it right now? I'd say it's a blizzard. Can't see out my windows. That must mean it's bad. But it doesn't matter, because luckily we are all stuck inside with our pandemic dreams, and we can enjoy that, right? That seems to be going pretty good. In any case, we don't have to cancel, but I am very sorry to be so late today. I was coming home from a friend's house, and the storm slowed me down. I knew the storm was coming. I just kind of hoped it wouldn't kick in a little bit as early as it did. It seemed like a chance I could get under the wire, but I was totally wrong. So what are you going to do? I'm trying, you know. Give me 1 second, you guys. Sorry, you guys, getting tied up over here. Ridiculous stuff. All right, back to work. Cool. So today we're going to work on some airbrush stuff. We've been working on Scratchboard for I think the last maybe 8 live streams. So that's about 16 hours of working on one piece. Was quite a bit. And then I did some of it before we started live streaming it. So I say it was a 20-hour project. I feel like it came out pretty good. You know, I'll show it to you guys at the end of this live stream here. I could probably show you a partial. This is where we were, I'd say, the beginning of the week, the beginning of last week. We've come quite a ways. So that's what we worked on for a long time. Sometimes you get into long projects and it's great, and you have fun. I had a lot of fun with it, but I can imagine that it was got taxing towards the end. So what I decided to do was I took all of the videos that I created, took me out of them, and just used the artwork and time-lapsing that. So I have one up, which is about halfway through. I'm going to take that one and the rest of the video I've shot since and have a full-on stream through finishing the project. So check it out, you know. We'll see how that goes. Today we're going to work on something different, though. Today we're going to work on Secret Squirrel. If you guys haven't heard of Secret Squirrel, you got problems, man. No, I'm just kidding. I'm extremely old, so Secret Squirrel, when I was a kid, was a Hanna-Barbera product that was on around the same time as the Flintstones and the Jetsons. Scooby-Doo, that kind of stuff. Not really the highlight of cartooning history. There was better cartoons before and after. That time, though, was pretty creative. And Hanna-Barbera, though I don't love their artwork, came up with a lot of really great characters that I totally love. Secret Squirrel being one of them, and Top Cat being another one. But so many other ones. The Wacky Racers, their version of the Addams Family, which was totally great. Tons of other great cartoon stuff. Sorry. But then they disappeared, you know, and they came back in the 90s, late 80s, 90s, and came out with, you know, made another effort. The only thing I watched was a show called Two Stupid Dogs. This was a really great program, very silly. And the two backup features were Adam Ant and Secret Squirrel. So Secret Squirrel and Morocco Mole, these guys are some of my favorite characters from cartoons growing up. So I've already done a Top Cat piece, a collage Top Cat piece, which if I knew where it was, I'd show you. Somewhere. I've done something like 40 pieces of artwork in 2020. And now here we are on February 1st, and I just finished one today. So if I could keep doing a project every day, 365 projects a year, that'd be amazing. But anyway, yeah, so that's what we're going to work on today. To do that, we're going to use... Hold on one second. We're going to use this airbrush right here, which is an Iwata HP, what is it again? HPCS. This is a custom Black Ops. I got this from the guys at Coast Airbrush, who are seriously great people. Hey, Shawnee.
My computer charger.
Oh yeah, right up there. This is my boy Shawnee. He's stopping by.
No, I'm not.
He's just coming through. Don't mess up my stuff. Okay, see
care.
what you're doing right now? Artwork, dude. Artwork.
Sorry.
Pay attention. Pay attention.
You're on live
I am, and you're an idiot on live stream. It's
a hard
stopping
cam.
by, Sean, and messing everything up. Look, Jesus, dude, you knocked everything over. Look at
Which one's the hard cam?
over there.
Hi. What doing?
Trying to pick up all
Later. Go follow my TikTok and sub to my YouTube.
Out of here. Thanks for being a bonehead.
It's my YouTube name, WDarbyAllen22224. YouTube
Stop
party
it.
fan. My TikTok is stuff.
Oh, and that kid screwed everything up on us. What was I saying? HPCS, right? Yeah. Busy! Oh my God. What the hell? What the heck is going on here? All right, sorry guys. What a complete disruption that was. Nice of my boy Sean to stop by. That kid's hilarious. Anyway, we're using this HPCS, the Black Ops version. from the guys at Coast Airbrush. Those guys are awesome. I've been out to their shop, the best airbrush shop in the world. I was lucky enough to go to a training they do every year called the Airbrush Rendezvous. Met some of the biggest names in airbrushing, Corey St. Clair and Javier Soto, Kiwi Mike, like a bunch of really, really great and talented folks. The owners out there just treated us really great. They bought us tacos, you know, it was a good deal. And I learned a lot of stuff. And they make these custom. They're like powder coated. I love it. Jeez, man. Okay, first thing we have to do in our project today is decide what colors we're going to use. I am not totally sure what I want to use. You know what I mean? Like, I'm still kind of trying to decide. Base coat, I think we use a tan. There's a color called Dermatitis Tan. And that's what I'm going to want to use. Just have to remember where it is. This is pretty much all the paint I'm working with these days. So usually I can find what I'm looking for in here because that's all there is. I do have more airbrush paint, but these are the ones I tend to use. I like these colors a lot, and they're horror names like Dermatitis Tan, Coagulated Crimson. That stuff is really fun. All right. I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me see if I can add it. All right, we should be able to add that up as a camera there. And I can show it to you. All right, so this is the color key that I'm using. I don't have all of those colors. I'm just going to grab what I think is as close as possible and maybe mix a little if we have to. I'm not great at mixing because I'm extremely colorblind, but I'm going to give it a shot, you know, do the best that I can. So I think the first thing we need is a light gray, right? So we need to find our little white, and I'm going to use this code blue for the blue we need. Just like, I think I have another one open too. That one. Dark blue, I'm going to use this code blue for that. Gray, brown. I just got a hold of this brown, which is, they're calling kind of a flesh tone. I'm going to use this, which is a Driscoll tone. Like I said, I'm really colorblind, so it's kind of just shot in the dark. Need a red. Just use whatever. Blood red. And then we need our reducer, which is, I got some in there, but I have a bigger one. That's there. I might as well use this one up. Let's see, what else do we need? Sort of a darker gray. We still need our black. Green. There we go. Wicked black. Got our white. Oh, we don't. I think I'll use, this is illustration white. But I'm going to use this, which is Old Bone White, because it has a little bit of brown in it. The white has white in it, and that is it. What else do we got here? Anything we might need? It's funny to look at the ones that are unopened, because I've been using this paint for a long time. I very recently, well, over the summer, I got a new set because I was getting pretty low. In fact, I still need to refill a couple, but getting there. That's what we want, kind of a brown. All right, now once we have the paints that we think we're possibly going to use, I also use a lot of marker paint. So if this doesn't work out, we can always go to marker paint. That plastic, that foam thing is actually like for little tiny plants. I thought that was a pretty good find. It fits airbrush bottles like perfectly. All right, so the first thing that I did, let me walk you through this real quick so that we can have, I could just talk to you guys about it really quick, and we'll see if you guys can understand. So what I did, right, was I took Secret Squirrel and I created a drawing of him, which was these two guys on top of each other. I could show you that. Which was here, and I felt like that came out pretty good, and I was liking it. So I wanted to break this up into individual stencils. Now the first stencil would be the silhouette to isolate the area that we're going to work in, and then after the silhouette, I decided to go with his hat. I think that's actually the one I wasn't going to use. So I went with his hat. So you cut out the parts of his hat that you don't want it to be in the stencil, and for me, I color-coded them. So for this particular one, you get just the hat with the eyes cut out. So when I use that stencil, it'll spray around that. And then the next thing we did after that was, I think, his coat. Same color key, same design as far as like the stencil that we created. Then we went for his secret skin color, or his fur, which is another somewhat simple stencil. Oh, that's funny, I forgot to take out his nose. Gonna have to fix that. So after that, I think we did Morocco's skin or hair. That's another stencil. Then we went with his nose, which is actually the smallest stencil that we've made. Then his jacket, his hat, and Secret's tongue. For some reason it's... Oh, I didn't want to do that. Seems as though this jacket is not quite centered. There we go. In any case, that's what we did there. That was his red jacket, and finally his cravat, which is this yellow thing, and the tassel on the end of his hat. And then we did do a black layer for the hat band, inside Secret's mouth, his eyes, Morocco's eyes, and inside of Morocco's mouth. So once we created all of those pieces, right, we saved them out one at a time, and we brought them in here. This is Silhouette Studio. Silhouette Studio is software for the Silhouette Cameo, which is a cutter. It's like a printer, but it cuts instead of prints. You know, instead of I always say it has a knife instead of a gun. You know, a paint gun, and it cuts out anything that you put into it. So what I did was I put each of the isolated stencil pieces from Photoshop in there, and then send them to the cutter. And the cutter was cutting out of acetate. I think it's a 0.005 thickness of acetate. And that's really, you know, solvent proof, pretty tough. The liquid in the airbrush, you know, beads off of it, that kind of stuff. It's like totally fine, very inexpensive. In fact, for the first, I don't know, like almost 2 years of doing airbrush, I was using overhead projector film that I had found in a box at a flea market. I really recently ran out. The only limitation with it is it was 8.5 by 11. And the cutting surface that you can use in the silhouette is 12 by 12. And so why not use all the space? You know what I mean? I made it work a lot of different ways, but that would have been easier. You know, it would have been cool if I could have made it work, you know. So let's just look at the rest of that. So we bring everything in here. And if you take a look up here, there's like our workspace out here, right? And you can see that everything that we just talked about in Photoshop, all the pieces are right here, right? And so you drag them in one at a time. If you take a look right here, this is the first setup. All I did was place all of these and cut them. And then we went over to this one, which is on the mat right now, the cutting mat. And this is our other pieces. Our dark gray, our black piece, our yellow, and this is all. These are also part of the black piece. So, people emailing me I've never heard of. So then after you do that, you check over here and descend. It's going to pop you up. Right now, it won't tell you anything because the silhouette is turned off. Let me turn it on real quick just so I can show you. And there we go. All right. So this changes over to what's available to us. If you look here in the middle, you can see that this says Michael's acetate. That's a pre-cut that I created, which runs in these settings. You know, the force is 33. Force is how hard it hits the material. This I found is something I underestimated the value. I always thought it was really just about the blade setting, but it's really the blade setting, the force, the speed, all combined to give you the best possible cut on a surface. You can go on Google, and there's a lot of people talking about how what setting they use for what thing, and there is some comprehensive lists that you can go right down that, and it'll tell you exactly what's going on. So we are that, you know, it's easy to set up. The silhouette is a scrapbooking tool, but anyone can use it, and I've been using it to cut airbrush stencils, like I said, now for a few years. This is actually my second silhouette. I love it. You know, like $200 is not bad. It's really easy to get used to, and it can do a lot of things. I barely use it for what it can do. So anybody out there's interested, come check it out. So that's the deal with that. So then we hit send, right? And then we come back and we pull our pieces out. Then you have to do the weeding process, which is basically like about taking out all the pieces you don't want, right, from your stencil. This takes a little bit of time, but this right here is all of the stencils that we talked about. This is the positive secret stencil, which I'm sure you guys can't even see. Put my hand under it and kind of see that it exists here. This one I used a piece of acetate I had written on. I'm really interested in having all of my acetate be colors because, as you can see, or not, everything is clear. And so clear, you know, is a little bit of a pain. So that's one of the reasons I'm doing this too. This is a test today to see how the stencils work on this in this build out. You know, I'm not sure how it's going to work out. I'm optimistic, so I'm just going to give it a shot. And then the intention is to try it, figure out the bugs before I do it on illustration board and have it be, you know, like a finished piece of artwork. So we're going to try it. This is on Bristol board, which I happen to have laying around. Bristol board's not cheap, but it's also not super expensive. I think I got this pad for, well, this is actually a really big pad of Bristol, and I have never bought Bristol this large before. This one is, this board was 16 by 20. Right? Is that the one? Yep, 16 by 20. Really big. I think it was a mistake because I definitely do not remember ordering one that was quite that big. I order all my stuff from Dick Blick Art Supply. Really, really great place if you guys are looking for somewhere to get your stuff. I mean, these days with the internet, there's nothing I've heard of that you guys collectively have not. You know what I mean? But whatever. That's where I get my stuff. Blake has treated me really great. I've been shopping there for the last 7 years, pretty seriously since I've been doing this work. I didn't tell you guys too much about my work. I am the coordinator of mentoring arts programming with Wayside Youth and Family. Wayside is a human service agency out of Framingham. They work with young adults and their families in a number of different social enterprise to try to help them and supply them with things like outpatient and emergency services, residential programming, all that type of stuff. I started with them at a program called Tempo Young Adult Resource Center, which is at 68 Henry Street in Framingham. This is, by definition, a youth center. My first thing to do when I got there was to build a basement studio for the young adults to engage in the creative process. This took a little bit, and once we got that going, we started to run open studio programming. I run open studio in that space every Wednesday and Friday from 10:30 to 3. I encourage anyone who's 16 to 26 and in the Framingham area on either of those days to come on by and hang out. We're there doing artwork. There's no prerequisite or registration or application process. There is just being the right age and available at the time. When I'm not there, I'm in the community. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, I'm out in the community trying to find young adults that I think might gain something from this form of gain something from this engagement method. And I'm all over the state doing that, like schools and libraries and youth centers and parks and supermarkets, police stations, anywhere that young adults might be. Unfortunately, the pandemic has come along and has really screwed up my plans. So we've transitioned over to virtual. It's been going pretty good, though, I'll tell you. I've been having really a lot of fun with you guys, We've gotten a lot of artwork done. I've gotten to potentially meet new people. One of the things about doing artwork online is I'm here and I can see how many people might be watching, but I can't see who they are, or find out if they're my young adults that I usually work with, because normally I work with a lot of young adults every week. I've been missing that, hardcore, man, hardcore. All right. Right. So all I'm doing here is masking off what isn't covered by the stencil, because this stencil, I had to get it to fit the artwork, which I wanted to do a certain size, to fit on the cutting surface, that 12 by 12 mat I was talking about. And so the only way to do that was to turn it at an angle. So it's at an angle here, which left me with triangular holes that weren't covered by my masking. A little bit of extra tape here, looks like. Don't want to miss a piece of the stencil because a piece of tape is in the way. Now, if you were to do that, you got to be real careful, because it's extremely easy to cut the stencil, and then also extremely easy to cut the get this junk off here. Also very easy to cut the surface that you're painting on. So remember, we were going to start with dermatitis tan. And the reason we were doing that is just to set it off from the background, you know, so that we can see it, you know, and that we know where it's going to kind of go. One more little one. You can absolutely use Frisket to do this job, and I have Frisket there, and I have used it many times, and I really like it. The only problem, there's a couple problems for me with it. Number one, I have a hard time peeling it. Number two is you have to be really smart in how you're using it. Like, this is a really general way. That you have to kind of plan around it. I'm not great at planning. So, you know. Wait a minute, what did I say? I am absolutely great at planning. I'm a brilliant planner. You kidding me? Oh, all right, hold on one sec, guys. Okay. Got my airbrush work area here. So the only thing I really need on this table right now is a mixer. What I can use to mix paint in the airbrush, which I'm sure is around here somewhere. I just haven't found it yet. Why these are all in here. Oh, they had like a screw or something over here. Alright, well, we'll use the back of this paintbrush. Since I can't find it, all it is all I usually use is toothpick. Foolish that I don't have a toothpick on hand. It's annoying. Alright, so you either disconnect your air or leave it connected. It doesn't really matter as long as you're careful. This reservoir here is pretty good size, but we don't need much of it. You know, we're only painting a relatively small area. Airbrush goes a really long way. Like, you definitely don't have to go crazy. You know, I feel like every time I use it, I put too much in. So I put about maybe 5 drops in there just now. Oh, did I drop the hose? No, I got it. 5 drops, so I'm doing 100% reduction, right? Just because I feel like the airbrush, you know, works a little better. So just give it a little quickie mix here. How I like to mix mostly is using the airbrush itself. You know, you just cover your cap. See if you guys can see this. You just cover your cap and pull back a little, and you get some air in there. And the air mixes up what we're doing. You know what I mean? So that's how I do that. I also like to make sure you have a paper towel on hand so that we can just test, make sure our paint is coming out and everything's working. You know, I always check my needle before I even start. And we definitely have paint. I recently started using a spring hose because I'm really often tripping on my airbrush hose. Haven't totally nailed down how to work with it just yet, though. Because I feel like if you tip it a little, you have a problem. See you please that the paper is coming up. Earlier I mentioned Kiwi Terry. And I think I said Kiwi Mike. And that is not the deal. If you're out there, Kiwi, I know we're not close, but I definitely don't want to say your name wrong, brother. There's no, that's not cool. You want to try to start your airbrush off your surface in case it spits on you. Wow, we had to airbrush how to paint that fast? That would be completely wrong. Alright, that's 7 drops that time. Might have to stand up. There we go. Got to be easy with the gumbo because it can easily splash all over you. So I'm just going to stand up here for a sec so I can try to get a little better shot here. Also get my hands in here, hold stuff down a little better. Alright, get a look around. See if there's any really obvious places. Good practice with the airbrush is to stay 90, right over it. And that way, even if some of your stencil pulls up on you, you'll still mostly get the block, the mask. Now we got all of our edges. Now we can probably fill up some of this other area. I want to use this color under all the other colors, just to have it not be white under there. That sound is, hey Dave, you're out of paint again. Because I really blew my estimate of how much paint we were going to need. But now that half of it's done, I'll put more in and it'll be too much. Alright, that looks pretty good. Hoping we didn't get under too much. You know what I mean? Done just one sec, you guys. Alright. So I'm using this tank here, and what this is for is to place all of your paint you don't need. You don't have to go crazy with cleaning your airbrush out. It's like I don't even know. Some folks are just crazy about it. All I do is I put a little water in, rinse it like that, and we're good to go. You know? That's it. All right, cool. So now that we got that first pass done, we can pull all of this stuff up. Gonna be kind of a lot of masking in this project because I tried to use as little acetate as possible, so I wound up having some multiple stencils on each of the pieces of acetate. So I have to mask them as I use the next one. You know what I mean? I feel like that sounded incredibly unclear. It'll make sense to you as we go. Boy comes through and knocks everything down, and then I can't find anything. Pretty sure I had a bottle of water. I wonder if he took it. There it is. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. So we just take this masking stuff off. And take this stencil off. Like I said, this is just on a scrap paper. This is a scrap stencil. All right. Looks pretty good. Really looks pretty good. All right. So this first stencil, if this works, I'll probably do this one over because it just wasn't quite, the material we're working on just wasn't quite big enough. Could have used the other side. Alright, so next thing we need, move this over here. Okay, always have 10,000 more things than I need. Whoop. Where should we start? All right, that looks really good. So once we got it where we want it, tape it down, and then we begin the process of masking everything else. Sometimes the hardest part of my job is peeling tape. Good not to push your tape all the way down either. You know, like leave yourself a tab, because if you're scraping too much to get it off, you can scrape paint off too. Doesn't matter at this moment, because we don't have like a really huge amount of artwork done here yet. Doesn't mean you want it to look bad. You know what I mean? All right, now this guy's not going anywhere as far as that middle. So now we got to start masking up the parts of the stencil we don't want to use. The most important one is the one directly over the stencil that we're using, which would be his hat. All right, so we grab this one, and we throw this one down for his hat. And then we got this one, which is a smaller piece. Of course, I'm using nothing but scrap paper to do this. I mean, you know, the project I made last, I used these photocopies to make it. So they're around. I don't need them for anything. This spot here is just a small piece of the stencil itself. Definitely need another one like that right here. Okay, and then we just need one more piece to cover these down here. Okay. I think the hardest part of this part is going to be mixing a good gray. Because since I don't really have a gray, I gotta make one. There's a new airbrush set and the whole thing is gray. It's all different grays. I can make no sense of it at all. Okay. So you really can just keep moving with the airbrush. You don't really have to stop all the... I used to spend a lot of time stopping to clean my airbrush and that kind of stuff, and you just really don't need to do that all the time. In fact, like the chroming inside is if you keep scrubbing it out and scraping it, it's going to get scratched and not look as cool inside as it does. Alright, that's one big drop of black. I don't think I need a lot of black to make this gray. It's going to be a pretty light gray. Alright, we got a little bit of black and a little bit of white. Little reducer. Let's see what we get for color here. See, still pretty black. And that's with 1 drop of black and 5 drops of white. It's amazing. I have to get paint on my clothes. In fact, I was just going to say, don't mix this over your artwork because you can get it on you and then I go ahead and get it on me anyway. Need this thing to go a lot lighter. Maybe a little blue too. Alright, let's try that out. Alright, we're going to go with that. See what happens. Alright, this one actually looks pretty good. And move this one up a little. We'll start right there. There's a good color. Kind of like what I wanted it to look like. Okay. Now we move on to the next one. Gonna have to switch color again. I think that throw back up our color key. I already go to the right one. There we go. Okay. All right. I do leave some of this masking stuff around just in case. Oh, I like it. I like it. So what are we doing next? What color was this hat? Blue. All right. How about Secret's body? Which is this one. Interesting. Stop there for his thing, but we do need to keep going. Right. Gonna have to do a little trim. Part of the stencil is not correct. So of course, the cutting board always has to be under where you need it to be. Which is why I normally started using this board over here, which is so that I could put my paint on it when I wasn't using it. Which I don't do enough. Alright, so let's put this under here. How am I going to do that? Let's get it in here. Right. All right. Nope. What I need is a pen that I can draw on there with so that I can see what I'm doing. I want to choke on camera. Sort of don't. Okay, that should do it. Okay. So now, okay, let's get this little tip off there. All right, our adjusted stencil looks good. This, right, like. We'll see, you know. I once had an intern and they said, all I ever do is look for things. It's really annoying. Okay, so now that we got our first round of masking in, we need to use his mouth too, right? Yeah. All right. And his ear. Okay. Oh. Okay. Take this guy and go across right down here. Everything left. Actually, you know what? I think I'll use another little piece just because I have it. It's always good to have a whole bunch of scrap paper laying around all the time. It's not good if you want your house to be clean, but it's pretty good if you want to paint on things. Alright, I don't want to cover this little part of his ear. Alright, there we go. Oh, still a little piece in there. There we go. Alright, so now we got all that masked off. we got a little bit of paint in here. So we do the same thing that we were just doing, which is we take our little bottle of water, squirt some in. That sound means we're clear. Clear. Why did I get it way over there? All right. So now we're gonna switch over to this color, which to me looks like peanut butter. Don't tell me if I got it wrong. I just don't want to know. Right. Oh, it's good not to have it on the ground. All right, put a little reducer in there. Eight. All right. Looks pretty black. Maybe it's too much. Oh, there we go. A lot of times all you gotta do is wait. A little something stuck on the end here. Pretty dark, so we're just going to put a drop of our old bone in there. Oh, I on my pants again. I used to wear an apron to do this work. I think I might have to consider it again, since I'm making a big mess. Same deal, let's just stand up here for a sec. Mix this a little bit more. Seems like some of this paint is down here on the bottom sticky. Yeah, I can see it. Okay, let's try that on. Still spitting a lot. So right off we can see the overspray problem right there. That's too bad. Excuse me. Oops. All right. So we did with that one. Not too bad. Just got to get a little bit more masking here. And I would definitely like to set some a little hotter colors. What should we do next? How about his hat? Good. More tape down there I could use. Oh. Alright, that looks pretty good masking wise. Unfortunately, it took so long to mix the brown, and now it kind of just get rid of it. But there wasn't a ton. Okay. Now we were going to use this blue, which is code blue. Doesn't sound like I got a ton in there. Let's see what happens. Ooh, a little more residue. This paint is feeling pretty thick here. Gotta get a real good mix going with it. Alright. We are together again. Alright. So it does look like some of my stencils aren't 100% the right size, which is inconvenient, you know. But good to know on this test. Okay, we got our masking here. Right. There we go. Sheets of masking. And then this one. What? Sounds like the plow trucks are here. Awesome. Definitely got under the stencil up there. Let's see. Okay. Whoops. Damn, we missed a little brown foot. I'll have to fix that. Well, you know, the dreams of being able to reuse masking without any effort are out the window. One sec, you guys. Whoa, here we go. Upside down. Get a look at that artwork. Right? one. That looks pretty good. All right, looks like we got that masked up pretty good. Damn it. What are you doing, thing? Let me try something here. That's not going to work. Hold on one sec, guys. A little trouble getting everything plugged in. Whatever. That seems to be good. All right. So what color we got in here now? Oh, yeah, this is our super dark blue. All right. Just throw a little water in there. All right, spray that guy out. Okay. All right. Okay. She got a nice purple. Before we start to get the red we're looking for. Okay. That's our shot of red. got our red in there. What are we doing next? Is that everything on this one? Well, we did miss this foot. Fortunately, do I want to mix Driscoll again? What do we got for paint in here? Nothing. Which is good because we didn't need a lot of red there. All right. Peanut butter makes me think of every time. Okay. Okay. Kind of try this freestyle and see what happens. Okay. Is that it for this sheet? Yeah, I think that's kind of it for this sheet here. Other sheet here. So this one has like quite a few less things on it, including black, which we're not going to go into right yet. This is like our darker gray. For some reason always overlapping on there. I need to spray. Strangest thing happened when I was doing my acetate this time. It appeared to have like a cover sheet. So when I cut it, it still had like a little bit left. I'm not sure why that is. Doesn't really make a lot of sense. Okay. Back to the same stuff. Oh, that's our done stencil, which maybe we could put here. Okay. Oh. Minute. This time it's gray, going from red to kind of a gray.
Hang out here.
Yep. Hey, look, guys, it's Molly. Oh, where is she? This one.
What? What up?
What are you doing, Mo? Hi, Rose. Rose has been up here looking for you.
Okay, then we'll just run up there then.
No, she's been up here with me for a while. Alright, you guys. So the next thing we need is a dark gray. This one is still brown. So we need a little bit of our black. Right.
I like looking at that camera.
Let's switch cameras. There's Mal.
We have two cameras. One there and one there.
This paint's pretty thick.
Yeah, how big my lip is. Is it snowing where you guys are, guys?
Yeah, right? Is it snowing wherever you guys are? Oh,
That's the first comment. Yes.
keep getting paint on my pants.
I was the one.
Just so happens to be white.
So happens to be white. This so happens to be white.
Oh, this black is really thick.
Because black is thick. Like Bell's thick.
I think it's because it's cold near the window.
How thick is it?
Pretty thick.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Oh no, I'm going to draw. Rosie, you're kind of in the way of me. I'm sorry, I stepped on your skin, Rosie. I stepped on skin. That's not question.
Seemed like it was pretty easy. Didn't you just do it?
Yeah, but I don't understand how I did.
Alright. Let's see what we got for color this time.
Daddy,
Yes.
what's the markers you're using? The circle kind of thing?
The ones you left the cover off the other day?
These.
Is that the ones you're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Try to put the covers on, okay?
Of course I will. Why wouldn't I?
Can't think of a reason, but it did happen.
Alright guys, what should I make?
Alright, guys. Back in.
Bakken! I'm gonna do kind of like the darkest to lightest little piece. So this is first piece. I will start with this. And this stopping line of where it's gonna be. Sorry if that surprises yourself. That's really bad.
Just doing his job.
Don't you think it scares the people that watch your videos?
I usually say, that's the sound of the compressor. I didn't say it just now, but I did say it earlier in the video, so you guys knew it. Don't be scared.
If you just came in, well, his name is Dave.
Yeah, if you just came in.
His name is Dave, and my name is Molly. If your name.
That's Molly. You can't see her on camera because I'm in the way. But she's back there.
Oh, you guys, if you guys just joined on, again, the people that's been on, is it snowing where you are? Is this a blizzard now? Like, for instance, it's raining cats and dogs.
Which would be fine if it was raining.
Yeah. Or it's snowing cats and dogs. Which means a lot to her, I guess. Or to her family, I don't know.
Alright, we got some clothes on that guy.
We just close on, close. Okay, this will go down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, this one's gonna go to right here. It's gonna go a little bit and like mix in with the colors. Like, ooh.
Alright, so the next color we're going to use is black, only because we're already in this dark brown, this gray color. So we should be able to go back to black pretty easy. Excuse me. I'm always
Why do
yawning.
people say excuse me when they yawn?
Because you usually have your mouth hanging open or something. I guess. I'm not really sure. That makes sense, though.
Kind of. Not really, though.
His eyes are definitely part of the black, what we're going to spray right now, which is the black stencil. But because I made a little bit of a mistake, I have to spray where his eyes go white first.
What
Yep.
mistake did you make?
Well, I meant to cut his eyes out and I didn't.
And we would have to do a live stream. It's not a regular live stream. It's just us. It's this petting the dog, like this, showing the viewers our dog. That'd be a nice video.
That sounds fun.
That would be my favorite video that you made.
You guys still doing that dog petting video? I love that.
Okay, I'm like following your videos. I've been following since you started live streaming, which was literally like not even 6 months ago. Probably 6 months ago. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's been about 6 months.
It was close.
Oh, yeah.
Like 6 months or 8 months.
28 months, 11 months, I don't know. 19 months. Who knows?
1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 1,000 months. How long is 1,000 months, Daddy?
1,000 months would be a little less than 10 years.
So it's
Oh, no.
like
A little less than 100 years.
I've been alive for 100 months and like, nope, that's been like 100 years. They're like, no.
Who has time for that?
And they're like,
Let's see something here for a second. Okay.
that's, oh, you're doing the guy down here, not the actual. Where's Rosie?
What's that? Rosie, she's over here. I called you a bunch of times. I put a charger there. Done screaming at
What are
me?
you doing?
I'm working on Secret Squirrel.
Oh,
Just
okay.
a test.
That looks like a weird bat.
Hmm.
A bat mixed with a chick.
Thanks for the compliment.
That's what I'm going for.
Have you? Earthworm.
That was Max stopping by to say hello.
With his blasting loud hat.
Excuse me.
Excuse me.
I'm always yawning, Mom. I don't know why, but I'm
Because
always
you're always
yawning.
tired. You stay up till like 12 a.m.
I fell asleep in the chair until 2 last night.
That's what I mean.
Huh.
It was funny. It was like surprising that Macklin had a bad dream because he hasn't had a bad dream in forever.
Yeah, it's been a long time. That's true.
Or at least that the one or something that he's like told me to do, or like asked me. He's like,
Yeah.
Mom, I'm like, yeah.
All right.
And he's like,
So we got this brownie kind of thing in here.
the
I think
viewers
we
are
were
like, what
working
are
with
they
this.
talking about? Probably like that. I wonder how old your viewers are, Daddy.
No idea.
Comment down below. Comment that too. Say yes. 53. Yes, and how old are you?
Oh.
It was my birthday a little bit ago. A couple days ago.
Yep. Maul is now 29 years old.
No, I'm 8, not 28 and 8.
8's a good year.
Yeah, you wish you were 8.
I do.
Because you're 49 and you still have so much energy.
Hmm.
Which I'm happy about. I'm hoping I actually do have all this energy.
There we go. That's one of the reasons that this is the best airbrush I've ever used, is that it pushes yucky stuff out. Something gets stuck, the air
Yucky.
pushes it out.
Yucky. Yucky stuff.
Alright. Next guy we're using is our terrible black. I wish we had a little bit better black, because this one is really kind of sticky.
Okay, there we go. I finished my drawing. Now I'm going to take black, the color of the rose, and make a little character out of it. Like a little bear. Or I'm just going to scan. Should I make that? Huh. I'll make a doggy. No, I'm going to make a person. Yeah, I'm making a person. No going back now. I already started another person. It's gonna be something like Donald Trump. A little beanie on. Should
Just
have-
mixing up some paint, you know.
You should have a dummy.
Kind of over mixing the black because it's so thick, and I'm worried that it's not gonna come out.
It has a dummy.
Looks good. Hmm. All right.
Daddy, try to find a smiley face in this. I'll
Hold
give you
on.
a clue. There's 4 eyes. Pretty.
Cool. Hold on.
They can see that. That's nice.
You guys see that? Looks cool, huh? I like it.
It's like a sunset. The water.
It's like a gradient. That's what they
Yeah,
call
so
it.
it's like it's sunset, and then it's like the sun just went down, so it's like just getting dark up there, and then this is like the darkness coming up.
Cool.
And there's a little ocean,
Cool.
but it was supposed to be a little darker or a little lighter, but so try to find the smile, and it has 4 eyes next to each other.
Okay.
I'll
Very
give you a
cool.
clue. It's somewhere over here. Okay, there.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I was gonna say.
It's right there, guys.
Cool.
I don't think it is. There we go. Now it's fine. Well, I hope my pad charged. It's nice seeing you guys for the 5
Say
minutes.
thanks, Mom.
So later.
Thanks for coming by, hon.
Bye. Thanks.
All right. This is never gonna work, but I'm gonna try anyway. All right, so we're basically gonna try to freestyle this eye, but I think I'm gonna turn my pressure down a little. There we go. We turn that down a little too much. Okay. This is just a little circle template. You can't even see it anyway, but it's a circle template that I made. Next thing we got in here. Looks like it's the yellow. Oh, there we go. Okay. 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 So now the least fun part of our whole gig, which is to spray some yellow. Because we got some black in here, so black to yellow is a problem. That's the sound we're looking for. the sound. All right, I can get that. Generally speaking, you want to wait to use black till last, you know, because it makes a big mess. All right, wipe it out one more time. So now what I did not pick was the yellow that I wanted to use. I'm going to use this called Injury Ochre, just to screw around. Colors that I'm choosing here don't mean anything. You know, they're just relatively random. All right, couple drops of reducer. Okay, let that dry for 1 second. Alright. Yeah, no, I gotta work on that cravat a little bit. Oh, there's a piece that didn't come out. Is that it? Alright, next, very important. Little tiny one. I think it must be on this one. We forget it? That would be annoying. Let's take a look. Another one. Right, there it is. Taped over it. that's what I dropped. My paper towel. Oh. There we go. Where'd you go, paper towel? Guy bailed out on me. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Oops. All right. Let's try one other color. Alright, this one I'm going to try to freestyle. Just see if we can hit it up here. Let's figure out right where we want this to go, because his face kind of does sort of turn away. Definitely seems to go the other way. Quite understand what's happening here. The last thing we have to paint has got to give us some trouble. Okay. Alright, now first thing we need to figure out is we need this to block off his nose. It just doesn't look like that. Did I just do it wrong? That ain't right. Let's try this guy. I want to give him a circular nose when I know his nose is round. fairly parallel with the top of his head. That's just going to go over his eyes too much. All right, another fun transition from one color to the next. There we go. All right. So what I'm going to do now is probably the lamest part of airbrushing, which is changing to straight white. Same deal as the last time. I'm going to go ahead and give this a shot freestyle. Mostly because we're really running out of time, so I want to try to get somewhere close to what I wanted to show you guys. Okay. What was the other white that I wanted to use? White part of his eyes. All right. How am I going to do that? Not a bad question, Bert. Oh, look at this. Not small enough. Didn't work out so bad. Shot right there. Okay. So, let me keep this stuck on here. Is it this one? Other one? No, it isn't on this one. Oh. Missed one. So I had it taped off. Alright, let's take a look. but not as light as his coat was. Alright. This will be our last shot here. Got a little bit of white in here. I'm going to put a drop of This guy does not want to come out. So this was a test to see how our pieces work together. And there's a little bit of size issues, but to be honest with you, my intention is to outline this whole thing with a real serious marker. See if I can find the one I'm going to use. This marker here. Now this is a 4.5 to 5 millimeter marker. So when I go around this, it's going to basically take up a lot of this extraneous detail that the size issue, Know what I mean? Now this is just a sample, so, I'll just do it kind of loose. All right. I wanted to do this even bigger, like really big. This is as large as the cutter can cut. So for the moment, this is as large as I can go. Don't get too sloppy. So once you've done that, other big black. All right. right. Well, that's pretty much what we were looking to do. Yep. Thanks, guys. You know, like, that was a good time. I'm sorry we went 25 minutes over, but it came out pretty good. You know, it was pretty fun. I definitely learned what we want to do and how we want to do it. So when I go to do the real one, I'll pretty much be all set, you know? So I hope you guys had a little bit of fun. I will definitely be posting the finished product on both Instagram and Facebook. You guys will be able to see it there. Jeez, excuse me. Yeah, so that is pretty much what I wanted to do with you guys today. Like I said, I had a nice time. I hope you guys did. And I will catch you tomorrow back here on YouTube, 3 to 5. Hopefully I'll be on time.